to my December Christmas Fest. I've got 3 Mondays of Christmas foods for you. Today it's all about appetizers. I unfortunately did not get my cookie cutters here in time, so I'll still probably be able to use them for desserts, which is another week to come. However, I do remember making a spinach Christmas tree back in the day, so I'm going to find that video and I'm going to include it. I think it was like one of the first 2 years that we were RVing, so it's got to be 2016 or 2017, but I'll find it, I'll include it. You'll probably recognize a lot of the decor, including my apron, which you can't see the whole thing, but Santa Claus is on it. Better view of the apron in my 2017 video. So without further ado, let's get started with our Christmas appetizers. Today we're going to make a Christmas tree vegetable platter. There is a dip that goes with this. I'll put the ingredients at the end of the clip and on the website, which will be linked in the comment box below. I didn't make the dip because I ended up air frying these vegetables to go with our dinner, but I wanted to show you how to make it because I thought it was adorable. So first of all, I washed all the vegetables and dried them, and I made the triangle for the actual tree, and now the tomatoes are going to be the Christmas lights, and then I'm going to put some pretzel sticks at the bottom for the tree trunk, and then some cauliflower, which is supposed to represent the snow. Pardon me. My cauliflower didn't look very good, and I had to cut a lot off of it just to make the presentation, so I apologize for that. But you will get the idea, and I think this would be really cute to take to a party, or if you're having friends over, or just to sit on the table on Christmas. And now for the star on the top, I'm just going to cut up some pepper. I used this sort of orangey yellow one, I'm not quite sure what color it was, and decided I needed to cut them again, make them a little smaller, but it depends on your platter. So I hope you give this one a try. I think it's super cute. The first thing I'm going to do for this wreath is put the sausages in a bowl. You can get any type you like. They make beef, pork, I think chicken. There may be other options. And then I unrolled the crescent rolls. However, instead of cutting them all into triangles, I just did strips. I found it so much easier, and I had the perfect amount for this amount of sausages. So I'm just going to lay it out and sort of pinch the triangles together, and I'm using a little flour to help.
Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do.
Now we're just going to roll the little sausages up in the strips. I'm going to first make this circle. I did not make my wreath very big because I just had a little platter to put it on. But as you can see, there's plenty left over. You could make this as big as you'd like if you have a larger serving platter or more people to feed.
Christmas, we're gonna dance. Okay.
While I'm waiting for the oven to heat up, I'm melting 2 tablespoons of butter, and then I'm going to add some Italian seasoning and garlic powder to it, and then we're just going to brush that on top of the pastry so that it gives it a nice finish and also a delicious flavor, might I add.
Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be.
And this goes in the oven 375 degrees, dropped 15 minutes. And this is how they come out. Now I'm going to make the bow. It's just to cut the top off the pepper, and I'm just going to work with it best I can. I thought it was a little big for a bow on my platter, so I ended up cutting it down, but it came out okay. You can make your bow any way you wish. So let's get this finished.
In Christmas times. Oh, and the sunset, it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family. Making it
So I decided to put it on this little red platter that I had, really a plate. It was just Big Daddy and I, so I put some lettuce in the middle, and then I put a little bowl there and put some ketchup in it for presentation purposes, and added my pepper bow. I hope you give this one a try. It was super simple and very cute. I will put all the ingredients at the end of this clip and again on the website, which will be in the link below.
And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sunset, it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is.
For this appetizer, the first thing you need to do is lay out your puff pastry and your cream cheese so that it all cream cheese softens and the puff pastry gets pliable. It takes about 40 minutes for the puff pastry, so I just left everything out for an hour. And now we're going to just roll out the pastry and spread the cream cheese on top. Now I used a whipped cheese, which I found to be quite easy to spread after I'd left it out on the counter. This is my suggestion. Okay, now I have out my salami. You can use any cut of meat that you prefer. It called for salami and we liked it. It was really tasty. So unless you don't like this, I suggest this as your meat of choice. Now to cut this into 8 or 9 strips. I should have used my pizza cutter. It's a lot easier. I look back on the video I did with the Christmas tree coming up next, and you'll see that's a lot easier. So if you're going to make this pizza cutter, super simple. Now what we're going to do is fold the Christmas tree. You take the small bit at the top and then get bigger and bigger. I had a little struggle with it at first, but it makes sense when you look at the picture, and then you just stick it with a skewer. After you get these made, they go in the refrigerator for 30 minutes before you bake them. I ended up cutting these skewers down so that they were smaller, which I suggest doing. And while I had these in the refrigerator, I had another sheet of puff pastry because mine came with 2, and I had salami left over, so I made some pinwheels. These, once cooked, have to be eaten right away. They're not good reheated. So, being that I wanted to take a picture and get it done, I left the pinwheels in the refrigerator covered, and I'll cook those when Big Daddy gets home from work. So now that these have come out of the oven, you just take olive and you put that on top of your little trees. These tasted so good. I had them for lunch and I've never had anything like it. I was quite amazed at the flavor. I hope you give these a try, and I'll put the ingredients, as always, at the end of this clip and on the website. Link below. This is the first time I've made this. My sister sent me this recipe. I thought it was cute and I wanted to give it a try and share it with you. Now, it's hot in here, so I'm done with the hat. So the first thing we have to do is get our roll of pizza crust, thin pizza crust that comes in the tube, and we're going to get this laid out. Next, we're going to make the spinach dip. So I have to finish defrosting my spinach. Okay. Next goes in the cream cheese. 2 cloves of garlic, but I'm using the squeezable. I'll give it a shake. I've used it for a while. 1, 2. Salt and pepper, so I'm going to use my seasoning salt, and that's a half teaspoon of each, and then some onion powder, half teaspoon, and then some chili powder. And this is a 1/4 teaspoon. I'll use my measurer so I don't get it all over get my hands all orange. Okay, and then 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. This one's a half, so we'll do 2 of those. And then a half cup of grated Parmesan. Now you can use store-bought spinach dip, but just don't get one that's too runny. And according to these directions, I'm going to pop this in the microwave to soften it up a bit and make it easier to spread. Okay, that's better. So if it's, cream cheese isn't soft enough to spread, just pop it in the microwave. And that's just going to work so much nicer. Okay, now we're moving. Okay, now we're going to put a top on the tray. What you do is you take your pizza cutter and you cut not all the way through. Before I do any more, I'm going to get this onto the baking sheet. Into a 400-degree oven for 22 minutes or until the bottom is cooked through. So we'll walk over to the shed and check on the boys and plop this in the oven. So there it is. Just throw this in the oven. Christmas tree out of the oven. Here it is. And now what I'm going to do, I've got 2 tablespoons of butter, half teaspoon of garlic salt, and half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning in here. I'm going to pop this in the microwave to melt the butter, and then we're going to brush the tree with it. Now, one thing I did forget in doing this, after I spread the spinach dip on the base, it calls for a cup of cheddar or mozzarella cheese, and you put that on top of the spinach before you put the second pizza crust on. So I did forget that, but I think it's just going to taste just as good without it. I got 1,000 things going on, as you can see. I just finished with the laundry too. So we've melted the butter. Just mix up the seasonings, and we are just going to glaze and make the tree all pretty. All right, there we go. Well, I hope you enjoyed those appetizers, and I sure hope you try some of them. They're all really very good. And if you made it to the end of my video this week, will you leave me a reindeer emoji? That way I know you've been here and said hello. Thanks, guys. Love y'all. See you next Monday. Bye-bye.